All right, thank you, Samara. Time now for some good news on this Monday morning. You know, it takes heart, talent, and relentless dedication to capture the truth behind the lens.
Yeah, a few do it like Fox 11's own Tony Buttigieg. Well, Tony has just been named Videographer of the Year by the Press Photographers Association of Greater Los Angeles. He was also honored in 3 other news categories, all recognition that celebrate decades of excellence. You see his outstanding work every single day right here on Good Day LA. We are shining a spotlight on Tony where it belongs.
Gigi, nobody other than Gigi knows better how talented Tony Buttigieg is as a photographer and really as a partner when you're out there in the field, Gigi.
That's right, and we're so proud of Tony Buttigieg. I'm very lucky that he is my work partner. We've been doing the early morning shift, covering primarily breaking news for over 10 years together now. I always teasingly say that he's the Frank Hardy of the Hardy Boys to my Nancy Drew. He's got a nose for news, and it's truly an honor, and I'm so thankful to the Press Photographers Association of Greater Los Angeles for honoring him not only as videographer of 2024, but also of 2023, because this is the 2nd consecutive year that he has won this prestigious award from his peers, from other photographers. So, and as you mentioned, he was honored in 3 other news categories. So a nice sweep for Tony Buttigieg at the award ceremony on Saturday.
Tony, I've worked with him also for many, many, many years, and I consider him a very good friend. And he has a true passion for the news, right? He's always on that scanner, so he's always listening, and he knows what's going on all around Southern California, so he's always got his nose to news. The second thing is that people might not know is he's also a reserve deputy for the Sheriff's Department and works with their search and rescue team, so he's actually saved lives, too. This is a guy who has a true passion, Gigi.
That's right. And sometimes we're on major stories. Maybe there's a missing hiker. Maybe it's the fires. And after Tony ends his long work shift as a news photographer and a photojournalist, he will suit up in his uniform and he will be out there on that hill, on that mountain, searching for a missing person, a missing child. As you mentioned, he's been with the Santa Clarita Search and Rescue Team for over 20 years. They do amazing work. They are all volunteers. They are reserve deputies, which basically means they do not get paid for this. They do this to be of service to their community, and he is responsible, he and his team, for saving countless lives. And again, sometimes we're on the story in the morning, and he's back there in the afternoon working.
And we know how critically important it is to have a good partner out there in the field. Gigi, what's the most memorable story in the last year that you and Tony have gone out on?
Well, you know, part of the footage that Tony was honored for as Video Journalist of the Year was the footage of the UCLA protests and the dismantling of that encampment. And we were on the air for, I don't know, 8 to 10 hours live. And that camera weighs about 40 pounds. That camera's on Tony's shoulder, and he's documenting everything. He's got one eye on the lens, and he's got the other eye searching the perimeter as best as he can for a good shot. That's a great example of the challenging work, and at the same time that he's shooting, things are being thrown at us. We're talking about flashlights, we're talking about fire extinguishers. Police are dismantling this encampment, so they're throwing pieces of plywood, wooden boards, pieces of metal, and so it truly was a challenge. And of course, you have the Palisades and the Eaton fire, where we saw so much devastation and so much loss, and that was a very difficult one.
One of the things that you do, Gigi, is you always give recognition where recognition is due, and you always point out, you're like, photographer Tony Buttigieg. So our viewers, I always have viewers ask, like, who is Tony Buttigieg? Because you say it all the time. And now we know who Tony Buttigieg is, a wonderful guy. Thank you so much, Gigi, for profiling him. He was like the first person that I ever worked with while a reporter in the field.
No kidding.
And it was a fire. and they said, you're meeting Tony out, and I get to the scene, and I'm like, you know, where is he? Literally, like, flames moving up, and I see Tony coming out of the fire, like, walking out, I'm like,
just
who is
emerging.
this guy?
Yeah, he's
there's
very
no one
calm.
better. He's brave.
Tony, by the way, you notice he has his arm in a sling, just had some, I believe, hand or wrist surgery. We wish you well, Tony. We love you. I love working with you, Tony, whenever I get the chance to. And so big congratulations to you on such a wonderful honor. Well deserved. Okay, let's talk about this because